Yo, what's platinum?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I'm RowLow.
I'm Tall Josh.
And this is Pool House Vibes,
Hey, the Pool House Vibes.
where we talk about everything.
And anything.
It's pretty catchy anyways.
Check. Test.
Testing 1 1 2 2 2 3 5 9 6 7 2 4. Hello, hello.
You coming so low, dude. What is
don't
up
know.
with that?
Hello, I'm right
Like
here.
my waveform is look at my waveform right here. Look at that shit. Beast mode.
Look at my waveform. I gotta be like sucking my microphone's dick.
You hit yours.
Yeah, I just feel like Tall Josh be on the NPR mode with the voice. That's all it is, man. You take a little off the edge.
Yours is coming in super low too. So I got the hot mic now. What is that with this mic? All right, wait, hold on.
It could just be the energy you talking into the mic.
All right,
Also,
now
blindly?
try something.
we both got low spectrum.
Try something.
Try something. Try. Hello, hello.
Now you try.
Yeah, I don't try because trying is just a fail.
3-letter word for fail.
There you go. I was trying to remember that shit
Yeah, you're welcome.
with the wife because she was like, I was like, I can't say try no more. I'm like trying, like I'm trying to not try to say try
Good.
anymore, right? And I was like, yeah, it's like a rolling thing. And she's like, what do you mean it's a rolling thing? I was like, well, he has this thing where you don't say try, you do it. You do everything. And then, but I was like, but there's a saying. I can't remember the saying.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, oh, you did it.
Try's a 3-letter word for fail.
Tries a little 3-letter word.
I think we tried and succeeded to get this to work. So there's no point in saying we tried. We just succeeded.
Yeah, we did it. And we got
We
it done.
didn't do it until we did it.
Hey, it happens.
Fuck it. Hey, this is Pool House. Pool House
Damn, I
vibe.
can hear that shit
Yeah,
too.
right.
You can't say Pool House vibes all close to the mic.
Pool House Vibes, episode number 9.
Nina? It's Nina?
It's the Neener. It's a tech and Nina.
dang.
Nice.
Yo,
We
so
have
this
a-
is your guy here, so I'm going to let you introduce.
Yeah, we have a very. Is my guy? What? No. I don't own anybody. all
That's,
right?
no. It's,
No, I'm very protective. I'm not protective. I'm very possessive. So yeah, this is my guy. This is my guy, Giant. Hey, this guy. His name is his professional name, Mario Garcia, and that is his government name, right?
his government name.
This gentleman right here is a person very close to me. We have a rap group together called A.M.F.M. Atlanteans Made for Music. Is that official now?
Official.
Official, baby. Yeah.
What is that again?
With a Z, though.
Say it again. What's the first part?
Atlanteans
Atlanteans?
Yeah.
made for
With a
music.
Z, because
Made
it's
for
like,
music, yeah.
hip-hop is.
Made for your amusement. Atlanteans made for your amusement.
There
No,
you go.
Atlanteans made for music. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we have some dope tracks, and one of the other reasons why we brought him on the show here today is to promote his Coachella Urban Valley Farms business that he started independently, all on his own.
Which I fucking, excuse my French, but.
Nah,
really,
fuck, shit, piss, fuck, shit.
All right, cool.
Screw it.
Well, then I really appreciate
Adults.
the invite, man, because I see you guys really hustling, putting in work, and so I guess real recognize real, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. So welcome aboard. Let me get your mic turned up a little bit. Number 1, right?
Yeah, number 1.
Word, yeah, it's been a long day. I'm kind of running a little low on energy, so excuse me if my voice
I don't
don't
see
come
enemies.
through. You know what I mean?
just see energies. Entities never go enter me.
Sauce.
That's one of
Anytime-
our songs. That's one of our songs.
Anytime that he says that or I hear that, that's what I think of.
That song?
Yeah, that part, yeah.
The scream?
Yeah.
Yo, it's fire, dude. It's fire, and I definitely can see, more of why Rollo's concept is that he's from the future. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's gonna be our next track that we drop.
Now, did we create that back in the
Well, I
day
don't know
when
if it's a
we were at
concept is
that
the
one,
right
when we were at that one crib that we were gonna do it's like Back to the Future, or Back to Earth? Like,
Back to Earth we go. That was
Yeah.
your like when we were doing JK247.
Yeah.
You were like, oh man, Back to Earth we go. Like
Yeah,
like as if we're from outer space and we're going back to Earth.
Yeah, because
But
it was a play on Ludacris's deal. Because I was paying homage to Ludacris because he had one of his albums was like something similar to that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I created. Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah.
Giant here
So
and-
how did you get started with this whole thing? If you want to share for the listeners on your Coachella Urban Valley Farms?
Yeah, man, I'd be happy to. It really started for personal reasons. I guess it started more of like a health thing for me. A lot of personal things started happening to me personally. I don't know how many times I gotta say personal for you to, I guess, get that. It was really just myself going through things. And then my family also, things that have happened in our past and even friends around me, I have realized, a couple friends that had passed away from other things or whatever, but just really just not being, I guess, aware of what's out there that can, to what extremes could happen sometimes, like really fast. So it started with me looking into, and on top of that, this is a very vital part of the story because it's very true. We had a little dog. We still do have the little dog. His name is Ziggy. And
You and your wife?
yeah, my wife and I when I say we, my wife Miranda and I, we got a little dog named Ziggy. And at the time, we were feeding him kibble and stuff, and he was getting overweight really fast. So we were concerned, and we started researching, I guess, how they made dog food. And we started finding out that, they're getting a lot of the leftover parts or whatever, and it's being grinded down, like being used with a bunch of different chemicals and preservatives and a bunch of like bad stuff, basically, that's only made to fill in a way. But I mean, even recently talking with a like holistic, what's the word, veterinarian, he mentioned that they can't even really digest that type of food. They're not really meant to digest kibble in the fashion that we think we digest, our food in a sense. So I guess that was happening with Ziggy, and he had been allergic to some ingredients, I guess, with us trying to switch his food. So it just started to make me pay more attention to the ingredients. And then, I switched over to, well, how are they making our food? And then I think around the time, it was that whole wave of the Netflix documentary. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Right. What the Health or something like
Yeah,
that?
What the Health.
Food Inc., something like that.
Yeah, there's a few of those. And I watched one, and I thought, holy moly, this it gets deeper. And then I saw another one that really blew the cap off of everything because it was the bigger picture, like not just eating healthy, right? It was the bigger picture, which I guess we don't need to get into that right now.
Let's get into it, though.
We can talk about everything and anything.
I mean, it's really just realizing that we're all born into a structure here, mostly. I mean, around the world, that happens a lot. We're all born into certain situations that I guess, in a sense, we don't have control over. But, I mean, through speaking with, homies like Isaac, he's really helped me understand that a lot of paths are different, and sometimes, although it hurts to see other people go through certain things, they are somehow, some way, are meant for that or going through it for. I mean, I hate to say meant because I don't want to say anything bad is meant for them and shit. But so realizing we're born into a structure that it's not meant for us to succeed, be here for a long time. It's being set up mostly for a money scheme, and aside from money scheme, it's a mass sort of control, and just realizing that there are no enemies. The only energies that we perceive as bad are like things that are how can I say, not good or not of these higher frequencies, not higher vibes, not of love. Basically, when it's not of love, you can really sense it. So these are things I started to become more aware of, and so I thought, well, if we're not really like out here with everyone having our backs, like as far as when I go out to eat, or even as far as like the clothes that I put on, you know what I mean, like just. We started becoming more aware. I became more aware of it, and I started looking into growing food, just growing food, because that was the bigger thing. Started growing for yourself. At the time, that was the research I was doing. And I was also doing a study for a holistic nutritionist. I wanted to become a holistic nutritionist at the time. So I was kind of divided between just pouring all my energy into researching. Like I literally could have just purchased the course, you know what I mean? I was right there, done all my research. But, after speaking with my wife and I, she said, keep this idea of what you're going to look. We got a little spider joined us on the little thing, the little wire.
Hey, he knows what's up.
Yeah, so after that decision, I just realized, well, we can grow here for ourselves and see how it goes, and I looked into, little setup for indoor, what's the best type of herbs to grow indoor and stuff. So I started growing herbs, just regular herbs. I started growing basil.
Oh, cool.
Rosemary. And then I tried growing flowers. And then I started looking into sunflower shoots. And then sunflower shoots brought up microgreens. They were, very close in the conversation, I guess, online. So it's tight. We're not checking it out.
Yeah.
It's like, where's it going to go?
It's cool. He's chilling.
Yeah. He's looking for something, though.
Yeah.
If he jumps, it's...
Damn,
Oh, see?
that was a quick-ass jump.
That's what I'm afraid of. I literally blinked, and it was somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a jumping spider, bro.
Fuck that.
No. Let him chill.
I'm afraid of spiders.
See,
bro.
I always think of rolling
bro.
now. I always think of rolling when I see, like, a fly or something, I'm going to just murk. I'm like, nah. I'm going to try to get it out safely to the best of my abilities.
Let it be, bro. The Beatles
Oh,
taught us
look,
that.
it just jumped
Can't,
off.
bro. I'm arachnophobic, though.
Nah, you're good, bro.
No, I'm not good. I'm arachnophobic, bro.
All right, get a
Nah,
cup.
for
Get a
real?
cup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hate spiders, bro. My wife hates snakes. I hate spiders.
See, then?
Conquer your fear, my brothers.
Yeah,
It's
what
that cup.
fear?
It's
What
that
fear?
big
Like
ass-
not wanting it near me anymore?
That's a
Big
fear.
ass beer cup.
So I'll be right back.
Burn it.
This guy.
Burn it.
This guy's literally.
I mean, I ain't mad, bro.
Hey, pause on the.
Just dry it up with your t-shirt. Or just throw something over it and then
I'll watch over him.
put like your shirt over it and then just throw your shirt outside. Shake it off. Oh yeah, but he'll fuck with that. He's like, yeah, it's cool. It's got shungite on it too. Ooh. Oh, see? Told you he's gonna gravitate towards the shungite. You can feel the vibes. He's like, yo, this magnetic field is intense. Fucking with the ions.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture, bro. Imagine. Hey,
A spider lives. Another
Yeah.
day. Thanks to Roland and Mr. Tall Josh.
hey, dude, you might have been the next Peter Parker. Who knows, dude? If you would have just let it bite you. Hey, golf clap though for that save.
Hey, nice
Golf
save, though.
clap.
No, but for real, fuck that shit. I hate spiders.
So okay, so let's go back into it. So then you started. You went on a health journey. Did anybody kind of like influence your health journey in any way, or did you kind of just draw from a multitude of different sources?
It was definitely a multitude of different sources. I was really on my own around the time. I felt that's probably like the most on my own I have felt up to this point of my life, of my journey. Like aside from having my wife there with me, because she was really like the only one that had seen these changes. Like I had gotten vertigo, I had gotten like super sick. I was grinding probably 20 hours, dude, a day, just to rack up for what Miranda and I were trying to do with getting married and stuff, which is crazy. No one do that shit, but now I'm just playing, don't do that shit. But no, seriously.
Just kidding, but not really.
Yeah.
Shouts out Ben Stiller.
So I feel like there was just a lot of things that were happening to me that I had to make sure I was paying attention to in order to preserve the longevity. Because for a while, I've always wanted to be here for a long time. That's the way I've thought. Like, I don't want to go young.
Right.
So I feel bad when my homies die young.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because I want them to love and live the same full life that I want for them. But again, it's different for everyone. I still love them the same. So yeah, I started
Started going basil.
I started growing basil and stuff. There was a lot of research I had done individually to gather like knowledge on microgreens, and there's this dude named Curtis Stone who's a big grower in Canada. He had one of the first videos I had seen, and then after I had seen like a few videos, I kind of get it. It's like a formula, you know. What I realized is, you know, like you bring more heads together, that you get more ideas. So through seeing that and being here and this, so I kind of started thinking about, well, what can I do here at the same level of production that I'm seeing, but at the same time make it better for not just the people growing and the people eating it, because that's where the true value is, but also like the bigger picture, man. What's up? You want to eat some?
Yeah.
It is fire.
So what is this? What is this here that you got here?
So what I brought today is our micro mild mix, and the micro mild mix it's all microgreens. It's broccoli, arugula, arugula, blue kale, red cabbage.
It's all just, sorry to interrupt you. It's
No, it's
all
all
just
good.
in this little deal here.
It's all up
That's
there,
how it
man.
starts. That's how broccoli starts. Or arugula. Well,
Yeah,
it's
so
not
you-
broccoli though, right?
Because
Because broccoli is part of the mustard seed, isn't it?
yeah, so it's a brassica, I think, but arugula. Yeah, I think most of these are considered brassicas, which is why they grow similarly fast,
Right.
at the same rate. So they go very good in a mix when
Yeah,
grown
that's
all
actually-
together.
That's actually really good. It's real tasty. And you feel like you're getting like you said, like the I feel like I'm like eating like some like cauliflower in there. I feel like I taste a little cauliflower in there too, but it might be because of the broccoli. It kind of tastes mildly similar.
Sprouts. It's sprouts essentially,
yeah.
right? It's the beginning part of what it will eventually grow to be the full vegetable.
Word, it's a level above sprouts. So
it's-
you
so
got
it's-
sprouts,
And then
and then you got microgreens,
Microgreens.
which is considered the true leaf stage, the cotyledon.
which has it's more nutrient dense in this stage as well, correct?
Yes, that's what they've discovered. I believe Stanford University had a recent study that showed certain microgreens like broccoli being one, red cabbage, radishes, having probably up to 100 times more nutrients than their mature version.
Huh. Interesting.
But there's a lot of things.
So
to
we're eating
consider.
everything too late.
Yeah, in a way, you know, like I get the idea of, again, growing things to full maturity and then having more.
Right. You have more.
Because this, like, for example, that one little microgreen, like if I plant that in soil and enrich that, or that soil is rich with the nutrients that it needs for the life to be prolonged and continue to grow, it'll grow into a mature leaf. That one thing, it'll grow into the mature plant
wow.
and have more, like in our yard, I clean the trays. I wash them off with the pressure washer,
Right.
and a lot of seeds sometimes will fall back there. And right now I have a red amaranth
It
plant.
just started growing.
Dude, it's huge. You know what I mean? But it's soaking up different nutrients from the sand. You know, when I'm back there watering and the other greens that fall there and stuff like that. So it's a different version of it, which is not to say it's not healthy, but again, it's just at this version they have found it to be much more condensed. So it's just saying a lot more, a little goes a long way.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's tight. So now, if people wanted to like participate in what you have going on, are they able to sign up with a service, or are you? Because I know you mentioned to me that you're doing deliveries to restaurants, a few restaurants in the valley, and you're also participating in the farmers market, which is a great way to get everything out.
Yep.
Right? Are people able to subscribe and get deliveries regularly?
Yeah,
to-
you can
to-
say that. You can say subscribe.
Okay.
I guess the only method of subscription I have found right now is just email me. Basically, give me your email, and I will
Where can
add
they email you?
Well, right now it's Instagram or Facebook, and that's both Coachella Urban Valley Farms.
Coachella Urban Valley Farms?
Yeah, Coachella Urban Valley, and I don't even know really the specific reason why I chose to put Urban Valley versus Coachella Valley. Urban
Hey, it
Farms.
works though, because That's the source.
Word, I think it's just different. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I envisioned it being more than microgreens, essentially. There's a bigger vision now that I have started to walk in this path that I see is bigger than me, obviously. So, the people benefiting from this, again, I want to also hand down that information as to how to do it. So, I would really like to work on our own whole foundation or structure that can be replicated in different regions. Because, to be able to grow all vegetables all year round is a benefit.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
And you've already laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
You have a working formula that's able to generate edible food.
Yeah. Thankfully, others did a lot of the work. I still have had to obviously have gone through my trials and tribulations to learn what system works best, even in here in our environment. Because although it's an indoor setup, the outdoor factors still have a lot to do with what goes on inside. So yeah, man, essentially, I would really like a whole self-sustainable system. I'd really like solar panels and wind turbines. And I don't want to give away too much.
Go next to the ocean, get a boat, get some tidal energy going.
Word, exactly. And which we have really already with Whitewater River and other things going on in the canyons and
or even lakes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and nowadays you just YouTube videos on how to make turbines, water turbines or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, just put this. I just need this.
Yeah, it's a funny fact that you bring up the YouTube stuff like that, because I literally that's all I do now. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I wanted to upload my gaming videos.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, you know how to do it? And you're like, yeah. Google it. And I was like, oh, all right. So then I did it, and then there's this English kid who had his own setup, and it was fantastic. He was like, boop, 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 boop. Enough time to pause, do the thing, do the step, play it, keep going, and it was fantastic. Now all I'm doing now is friggin'
upload it.
My gaming videos. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I remember I had a situation where when I worked at Apple as a genius, there was another store that I had to work at, and it was at the very beginning of my, I guess, quote unquote genius training. And I went into the store and they just hand me, because I have the title of genius now, right? So they just and this is before I went over to Atlanta for the official training, and so but they don't know that, they don't care, they're just like, I work here, I clock in, and this new guy comes in and we need to train him on something, I don't know, or whatever. So they're like, here, you know how to do this, right? And it was this complex problem with this way older model MacBook, and I had to take out the hard drive, I had to replace the processor, and I was like, they're like, you know how to do this, right? And I was like, yeah, no problem. I just need to use the restroom real quick. So I went to the bathroom, pulled up the YouTube video, and I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this shit. I forgot. I know how to do other stuff, but I don't. With Macs, it's new. If this was a PC, I'd be able to do it so quick. YouTube, oh, thank God. And there's just this dude that was like, all right, guys, what you want to do? You want to, take off the battery real quick and unload this L clip. And I was like, yes, dude, perfect. So I just knew everything to do. And I walked back in there all confidently. And they're just staring at me thinking that they just put me through the ringer. And they're like, oh, shit, he does know how to do it. What the hell? YouTube, baby.
Thank you, YouTube.
The one video that I have that I think has more views than any other video I've ever posted, it's I don't know, it's probably 80,000 views now, and it's it's me when I had this old car back in the day, this Nissan, and I didn't know how to replace the starter, right? And I was like, dang, I need it. So I went to the junkyard, and I talked the guy into letting me come back there to the pick apart area or whatever it was, and I convinced him to let him take me back there on the golf cart and have me watch him take off the starter, so I knew how to do it. And so he was like, "No, we can't have you come back there." I was like, "Oh, that's cool, but can you still take me though?" And he's like, "Nah, sorry, I can't have this." I was like, "Dang, man, is it possible if I just go with you anyway?" And I was like, "Because I won't charge you guys if I kill myself. Trust me, it's all good." And he's like, "All right, hop in." So it took me over there. He's like, "All right, don't stand directly under this, but you can kind of see." He lifted it up on this crane and did all this work. And I was like, "All right, cool. You know what? I don't see a video online for this, so there's no video online for it, so I'm just going to post it myself." I think that's what I said in the video. There's no video online, so I'm just going to post it myself. you find the void, right? I found a void, 80,000 views on YouTube. And I'm just like, what? It's the only thing that I've ever monetized on YouTube. And it's like this starter replacement YouTube DIY freaking Nissan Sentra 2002.
Yeah, you can still do more. There's sometimes not even enough of those
Right.
videos,
Yeah.
right?
People are starting to realize that. And if you can find a niche market, like, or niche or whatever, however you say it, you can capitalize on that big time and really, but in retrospect, it's really about seeing the need and filling the need, just like the entrepreneurial perspective. And so right now, I think you see some needs, right? Like in the valley for healthier food, and that motivated you.
Yeah, and
That's dope.
I see it happening more and more. I see it happening more and more with other businesses and other people. You know, they're starting to become more aware and more conscious. So it's a great thing, and I think again with the name, I wanted it to be more than microgreens because essentially that whole system, we can grow more than just microgreens year round. Like,
Right.
I want to grow everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as growing everything,
Micro potatoes.
yeah, what are you trying to grow? What are the things you're trying to grow?
Like everything, dude.
Like,
Yeah. Like, think of something that can grow. He wants to grow it.
no shit.
Everything that grows that we
Bananas,
can eat.
apples.
Banana. Imagine a banana.
Maybe not
Yeah,
even,
but-
and maybe not even just stuff that we eat. More things that help, like, you know, plants that help the environment, stuff like that too.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how big this dome is gonna be. Oh shoot! Well, there goes one. It's a geodesic dome is the design that I want to do.
Was it as
So-
big as that movie Biodome?
I mean, it could be.
That'd
It-
be sick.
Biodome.
with-
You remember
with
that?
the-
Pauly Shore?
with the
Yeah,
right,
Such a great movie.
with the right people involved. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Was it
Possibilities.
Stephen Bald? Who was in that with Pauly Shore?
I think you're right. Question
It's
mark?
one of the bald ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess essentially to get to the level of growing everything, it would need to be a pretty large scale dome or just having multiple domes, you know, sectioned off for different things, like different climates, obviously, because all of those things need different climates.
What are some of the challenges that you've been facing with this?
Setting my own schedule, because since I was a kid, I thought working was always going to be like working for, you know, other companies, other, you know, businesses and stuff like that. For the longest time, I thought I was going to be doing something different. You know, I thought I was going to be playing soccer up until probably 19, 20 years old when I hurt myself out in college because of soccer. So at that point, I feel like I was kind of already set to like, oh, well, gotta work. You know what I mean? I gotta work to keep things going. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I know how to do to like keep the momentum going and like be happy. And that's the
Well, you're 4 diamonds too, so
what we gotta do. Word, yeah. And before I even knew that, you know what I mean? I was just like, well, just work. That's all I know how to do is just work. So, I mean, through it, I had my experiences or whatever, but that's another thing, man. I just got sick of working for someone else that I see that their intentions aren't for the better of people and stuff like that. You know, it's
fat in their pockets.
It got really deep. Yeah. Once I started eating healthy, I went vegan for 3 months straight, like almost probably raw vegan, damn near probably for a month because for a while I was eating those the patties. I forgot what the Beyond
veggie.
Yeah, the Beyond
Morning
Meat
Star or whatever.
burgers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Beyond Meat burgers, but not like at Carl's like they got it now, which is probably still good. Like shout out if you're doing it, but
It's a step in the right direction.
Word,
I mean,
yeah.
You're still eating genetically modified
You're
foods
making
and
a
processed.
conscious effort to do something different, which I applaud. So I started seeing things different. You know what I mean? And it was just like, well, I forgot where I was going with that, man. I just know that I was seeing things different.
Yeah, well, we're
After I
talking about
started
some of
eating.
the challenges, right, that you've
word.
faced, right? And so setting your own schedule.
Yeah, setting my own schedule because of the structure, you know, that I was so used to working 9 to 5. I got sick of it. And, you know, I had this conversation with someone over the phone because I worked for the county of Riverside. And the welfare department sees all kinds of people, you know. And I like to think I'm a people person. So I try to connect with all kinds of people, you know what I mean? And over the phone, this one person was not having the best of days. And I was being my usual optimistic self, and they made me see something that I hadn't seen before. And they're like, well, you still go to work for a company that's doing this to us as people, you know what I mean? Like, well, it's not a company, it's a corporation, like the county, you know what I mean? The way they were managing their budgets and whoever gets what and all this
governmental organization.
Right. And in a way, we go collect the check from them because of what we do for them and the limits that they set for us to work under type of thing. We have to, all that kind of stuff. So when he told me this, it hit me a different way, man. Like, again, maybe, you know, the diet had changed it up, but it hit me in a way where I was thinking like, well, I'm really just, I know how to get money. We just go to work. You know, everyone's so reliant on the cushion of like, well, this is coming. I know as long as I stay here.
Right. You're sacrificing your time for.
That was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing. And I applaud anyone who can do it, man, because we need people also on those lines, on those grounds, who are there for the people also. And I think I had to go through it to understand it, though. I mean, I was there for almost 7 years. You know what I mean? So that's definitely the longest title I held at any sort of job for anyone else. And, so, like, setting my own schedule was pretty tough because with microgreens, they grow so fast. And, you know, for growing for myself, it was no problem, really, because, I mean, I had the time to learn and I didn't have to meet, like, an order or like, a quantity. You know what I mean? I was just trying to see how much I can get out of what I was sowing, and then the taste and how long I can let it grow and how that would affect the taste and nutrients and different mediums I was using. I was using, you know, soil in the beginning. I was using organic soil in the beginning, and then it switched to like a blend of soil and just cocoa coir. And then I ended up learning more about how at a certain age, all the nutrition that we need is from the seed itself. So if most of these varieties, which I am now focused on growing, the faster growing varieties, I think cilantro is probably the slowest one that I have right now.
If you go in there and you look at his setup, it's like, dang, why don't you just grow weed in here?
And now you can.
But he does. Well, he can, but he doesn't. He grows all these fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think, and even still with cannabis, you'd need a little bit more of an extensive setup, even still.
Yeah, right, definitely.
I think so. Just because you get the budding, the flowering, and all that process. Like, again, the length.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that was that was really cool. But setting the schedule, making sure I had enough to grow, or enough growing at the right times to meet the demands of the orders when they needed them. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't so. I mean, I knew that if I was going to leave my job to do this, I knew that if I left that check, I would have to compensate with more. So there was like this moment of like, all right, well, I'm not opposed to still working in other places to get money, but I'm going to put all my energy into this and try to get as much contracts as I can, as many people as I can, to want to purchase this so that I can, you know, supplement. So I can supplement and still, you know, provide for the family we're trying to build and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not send my wife through a complete like spiral, which we still went through and are going through, but we're definitely rising above right now. I think we're communicating better than ever. But honestly, anyways, I'm like, no, anyway, off that shit.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You know, balancing relationships and work.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
For y'all, man, y'all got like kids.
Yeah,
he's got two. I've got one, but I feel like my one kid is two kids. Like her personality.
Word.
He's like, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm dealing with my kid, and he'll text me. He'll be like, yeah, I've got kids. He'll do the plural. I'm like, yeah, asshole, I know, but still, like,
the one person that the kid excuse doesn't work on.
Word.
This guy.
And I'm like,
he can work on a lot of people, but me, nah, it's not gonna work, bro.
And for an excuse, like, I guess. I mean, I don't mean to use it as an excuse, but I'm just like, I'm already like dealing with not knowing how to be a dad, and he's already like dealt with it, and now he's like on his second level of being a dad.
I see what you're saying.
So for me, it's just like, I don't know how to deal with this. And so I'm like, I'm doing this. And he's like, yeah, plural over here. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I still don't know what I'm doing. You do.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
What you got for me?
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean,
you know
it's a
what card his
challenge.
daughter is?
No,
Jack of clubs.
that's tight. Oh, so that's why you're like, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tight, man. Like, Rolo, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how much of a Rolo I've seen, of a mentor I've seen Rolo play to a lot of people, man. So, like, I don't even know what your life path is, but somewhere in there you got to be like
8.
What's that?
It's an 8 life path.
That's fire. That's like the universe.
Nah, it's power, dealing with power, but also, dealing with balancing power, but dealing with potentially the consequences of abusing power. But also, eventually, it points to being the executive, right?
Oh, okay.
And like leading like a big organization of some sort, right? And it's the life path that is very. It's dealing with success, but also dealing with the downsides of success. Dealing with it's dealing with karma, dealing with giving, receiving.
And then when you being a Leo on top of that, so you're taking the high road a lot of times.
I have to, bro. Yeah.
I feel that, man, and I can see it too. So and through the divine consciousness that you got, you know what I mean? It's tight. And then Josh too. I mean, you've been around Rolo for a long time, and so when I hear you speak too, sometimes both of y'all are like on the same vibe. I'm like, damn, well, homie's like super smart too. You know what I mean? Like he's got good awareness of things too. But again, you come from a different background, so your experience sets in too, and the perspectives change, and it adds to things too. Again, going back to our homie AZ, more perspectives are better.
Yeah, no. This dude, he'll keep me in check sometimes because, like I'll go through life, right, and a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, oh yes, absolutely, oh just doing what I'm telling them or whatever it is, right, and this guy's like, shut up, dude. I'm like, what, dude? He's like, no, I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm like, or just whatever. I'm just like, nobody talks to me like that. What the fuck? But then you got to remember, like, oh shit, we've been homies since. We're 19 years old, like talking about Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy because we met at a party, and then I ran into you randomly coming out the new Walmart, which is in La Quinta, where they built that super Walmart. It was like the first one in California or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
And then I got your number from then. I don't think I grabbed your number the first time around, and I grabbed your number, and then MySpace blew up, and so it was like we were on MySpace for a long time. Yeah, dude. And then
MySpace, dog.
I just just it kind of just went like blah 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 blah, and that was around when my dad died too.
Oh shit, yeah.
So it's like I feel like I've lived like I'm like living my second life because I was like kid growing up, different parents. Visited my dad when he had the time out of the military, hanging out with my mom and my stepdad.
Right.
And then, going. And then, like, all of a sudden, it was just like the guy that's, always picking you up for Thanksgiving or Christmas and always hanging out with him during the summer is not there anymore. Mm-hmm. And, like, right now, more than ever, I'm dealing with the hardest because it's like, I can't talk to him about the military. Like, he did the military for 18 years before I did it.
Right.
So it's like, fuck, like, I can't talk to him about, like, my problems that I have with that, right? And then, like, my kid, like, I can't talk to him about that, like, how, like, he, like, did, like, the whole, like, getting divorced and, like, kind of raising me, but not at the same time. And so it's like, I'm, like, dealing with that because we kind of had our issues going back and forth and whether or not we were going to get divorced. My wife and I, and so it's just like I don't have that person that did it.
Right.
So it's just I feel like I've lived two different lives. So it's like when my dad died when I was 19, it was like I was like shit. I'm like crazy lost, and I think I've been lost for what is it? Like going on like 15, 16 years now that he's passed away. Like, yeah, man.
You still feel a little bit of you.
Oh, like I'm like crazy lost, man.
I have this. There's this concept that I was made aware of not recently, where when we start having kids, we're raising like the kid inside ourselves in a way too, and like we're like the childhood trauma tends to come up, and it's like it's a new opportunity to raise that new being in a way that kind of speaks to your own inner child, or it's like you're raising your own inner child but just outside of yourself, right? You know what I mean? And so because you could see your kid doing things that you did when you were, or feel that you would do, or those types of things, and a lot of the times that when we don't like what somebody else is doing, or anybody else, even if it's our kids or if it's our partner or whatever, it's something that we have maybe a tendency inside ourselves to either want to do, or part of ourselves that we're suppressing. You know what I mean? Like, say I'll use an example, to a couple, right? Random couple, one person smokes, we'll say cigarettes, the other person doesn't, right? Or weed or whatever, right? And one person is like really used to do it and they love doing it, but then they quit and they gave up. And then they see the other person doing it, right? And they're doing it in front of them. They're like, I hate when they're doing this. They don't hate when they're doing it. They hate the fact that they're not able to do it, or they chose not to do it anymore. And that person, A, doesn't have the strength to stop, or B, but it all points back to you. It all points back to yourself. So I don't know where we're going. We're just going on a tangent, but
no, that's all right.
We always talking about challenges.
Yeah.
Doing things with a family and stuff, and that definitely sets in.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, that's so yeah. Going into that, that's right. So balancing, doing that work-life balance, and trying to find, okay, so how much of my time am I going to use for family? And it's gotten to a point, even for me, where I've had almost too much time, you know what I mean, at my hands to just hang out with my family or whatever it is, to the point where the time is enjoyable, and then it's like, oh shit, we're not really doing anything productive for the world with our time.
Word.
So now it's like, and then so we just get at each other's throats or whatever.
Extent, right.
Yeah, or even the kids getting at each other's throats, and we're just lounging or whatever it is, and it's like, damn, it boils down to time management, I think, and like effectively using the time that we have, because what's the one thing like when you get in trouble is taken away? Time, right? Yeah,
your time out.
You get your time.
Yeah, face a corner for 15 minutes
or 15 years.
Ooh. Yeah, and I'm heavily selfish with my time too. Especially like I said, when my dad died, dude, it was like that was when I realized that I could not be here tomorrow.
Right.
And so so it's been that's the biggest challenge of being a dad, a husband, and then you yourself as a personal being is time, because I know that I don't have a lot of time. And people will be like, oh, you're young, you'll live forever or whatever. You'll live like for a long time. And it's just like, well, you might think that,
shit.
But me mentally, I don't think that. Like, I feel and think that I'm going to die tomorrow. And so I want to try to pack everything as much as I can do in one day. And I literally live day by day. And like, they say you're not supposed to do that. But I don't know how to not do that anymore.
First of all, who's they? Nowadays, it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Who they execute, and they say that you're supposed to do that too.
Yeah, right? And it's just
cicadas.
The cicadas.
I'm just like, and so that for me, that for me has been the most challenging part, is to not be selfish with my time.
Right. Yeah. So and I could see that time.
And it's unfortunate. Let me say something real quick, because on that note, like, it's unfortunate dramatic things have to happen in order for us to realize these kinds of things. Because actually, now that I think about it, on that, also, like when my cat passed away, or our cat passed away, I love that cat so much, man. Like, every morning I would wake up, he was awake with me, what I mean? The dogs would be knocked out, Miranda would be knocked out, but it was just me and the cat doing our thing in the morning, you know what I mean? And at night, and that was the first cat I ever really was cool with, because before I was just breaking out in allergies and just could not be around cats.
This guy, bro.
What's up.
Yeah,
you know what's up. I think it happened like once or twice when you would come over at that apartment, and you just realize, like, dude, I can't be in here for too long because it's gonna get bad. So I mean, I was at that level too, and once it came out to like, man, this is the coolest cat I've ever known. I love this cat, and then like we were getting ready for Miranda's birthday, or Miranda's mom's birthday. We were gonna go over, and then just like that, he breaks out, had like something get clogged in his artery, and it was close to his heart. So it was like it was really bad, basically. And then he started losing. We rushed him to the hospital, and we basically just lost him in like half an hour. Right, it was just gone like that fast. And just the next day, you'd call off to work, like, I don't want to go to work. And then you wait until you feel like you can go to work. And then I'm driving on my way to work, and I'm realizing, why am I going to work? Like, I don't feel like I want to go here. Like, there's so much time that I want to spend at home now, like with my dogs now, you know what I mean? With Miranda, with myself, like just enjoying the life. I love, like, my folks, you know, all this stuff we started thinking about differently, because you're right, man. It's just at any second, things could be different, you know what I mean? And again, you're like, why am I going to these places that they just don't care about the benefit of myself, of the people we're serving and shit like that? And I mean, shout out to all my coworkers, man. If you guys listen to this, though, y'all cool, man. I love you guys and shit. Most of y'all
they're going through it.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
You feel their struggle.
Yeah, I feel it. And they're like, again, I have admiration for the people who can withstand that for 10, 20. My mom retired from the county, and I think that was a big influence as to, like, why I thought that was the secure route. Because I had gone through, you know, college also. I did a medical studies for a while. Also, I did a quick, what's that called? A trade school. I went and got my x-ray, you know, license and whatever. And then I just quickly realized that wasn't for me either. So eventually, once I was back here, I was just like, well, the county's like a safe check. You know, I got my way in or whatever. Boom. So I was just running that for a while. And again, we just get caught into that comfort zone. But it was like, I didn't have that. The only thing we had going for myself, or I felt like we had going that maybe kept me there, was the music stuff.
Right.
And at that point, it was also like the time thing was like, well, okay, well, I'm here for 9 hours a day. That means I only got another like 8 hours to do everything else and sleep for 6 or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or 4.
Yeah, right.
Sucks.
Word. So, I mean, it's like you got to put in work. So at that time, I remember we had this. Sorry to keep pointing, but I talk a lot with my hands. At that time, I got my MC hands out. At that time,
the mic.
Our homie AZ had the studio for Williams.
Oh yeah, we all put in on that one.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we were putting in money to help keep the doors open. I mean, at first he was just like really inviting to everything, and then again we all get into the community efforts of helping each other out, and the energy just grows. And we definitely, I mean, I speak for myself. I definitely felt like I needed to put the time in order for it to be worth. Right, what was happening? My energy being there, the investment of just trying to keep the place open. I'm like, well, let's suck the juice out this. So on my lunchtime, I was going to the studio. After work, I was going to the studio, and then Miranda was like, well, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to get things done and stuff, but then like, what's up over here? So it's like, okay, we gotta set our days now and stuff like that. So this time scheduling, it's been a really tough thing now that I'm doing things more of on my own accord. But it's just, keep it going, man. Keep it going, and remember to enjoy the ride. Is the best thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't have a strong grasp over, in my opinion, is staying in the moment and enjoying the moment, and realizing one day you're gonna think about this tough experience right now, and you're gonna be like, that was tight, because you made it through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you know, if you try to visualize the end result as much as possible, you can get through almost anything. Well, yeah, pretty much until you're and also recognizing that life is full of sudden goodbyes. The quicker that you can integrate that and keep going, and like you were saying, keep going, the better you'll be.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I had this thought too, and it's a recurring thought, because you know how we always pull out our phones?
Yeah.
And always, I want to capture that moment. I want to capture that moment instead of like being in that moment.
Right.
They created Google Glasses, right?
Right.
Whatever happened to those?
They're still out. But they weren't like the best thing.
Yeah.
So they came up with like better versions of it.
Yeah, and Microsoft HoloLens kind of based on what they've exhibited as far as what they're able to do with augmented reality. I think that's the route that everything kind of started going.
Wouldn't it be just fantastic if you just wear glasses the whole day and you're capturing as good as you would on your phone, and you don't even have to pull your phone out. You're in the moment, but it's recording, like it's sending it back to a hard
upload that
drive.
last 15 minutes.
That's kind of like what
Exactly.
Snapchat
Upload that
is.
last 15
That's kind of
minutes.
like what those Snapchat glasses are too, essentially.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to do anything. It's just straight up recording, and then you can go back into your program, like an editing program, and then you can learn how to edit too at the same time.
Yeah.
And you just go back and you're like, I had a thought for that day. Like there was something that happened during that day that I liked that I want to keep forever, and like you can just delete everything else.
Right, and there's
I'm just saying, man,
yeah,
like,
it's there already. The technology's here. There's
but
people that are implementing
we
it,
need
but
to fucking
as far
do
as
this shit.
adapting the technology, it's gonna take years. Just like with crypto,
Yeah.
like it started getting integrated. People started
then-
adapting it, and then
boom, and then
it went whoa, and then it went whoa, and now it's going whoa back up again. So it's like, I don't know. As far as technological, I guess there's a term for it, but it's like, I guess maybe acquisition of the concept of the technology or integration of the concept of the technology is a difficult subject that all inventors have had to encounter. Unless you have a vision that is so forward thinking, kind of like how Steve Jobs was able to implement, that you're just thinking of what is the most basic element, right, that people want. People want connection, right? So how do you make connection easy for people, right? Well, you just have this like glass display, right? This display that's like, oh, all of my potential connection abilities are right here. Like, boop, okay, now I'm connected. That's the concept. I guarantee you he thought about FaceTime and all that stuff that we have like way, way back then.
Oh, for sure.
He didn't maybe necessarily have the technical prowess to sit there and invent it and create it himself, maybe like a Nikola Tesla would, but he knew the people that did, like the engineers, I guess maybe the antisocial people that are just focused on that. He was able to put everybody together and work under an umbrella that eventually pushed forward an amazing vision. That needs to happen again with what you're talking about. Somebody like that
I almost
thinks
feel
like
like
that.
it's like a Black Mirror episode too.
Well, yeah, too, yeah. Also, you put those on, and all of a sudden now you're exposing your brain and your eyes and everything to like gamma ray, to like radiation immediately for the day. If you think about it, it's
That
technology
sucks.
like Bluetooth. It's got to be able to have Wi-Fi connectivity in order to have all the GPS stuff, and it's just on your head.
Maybe you could just have like a chip in it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I hate being at like a concert and I'm like this.
Oh yeah, everybody's like this now.
I don't want to do that.
Everybody's
I
just
paid
like
money
this.
to like enjoy.
How many of those videos do you even see? I don't see that many. I see like maybe one video of the live performance.
I delete like almost all of them. Even when I did Green Day, I hadn't seen. I've always wanted to see Green Day my whole life. Right? I had the chance to do it when I was 21.
Do you have the time
to listen to me whine? And I brought out my phone. And I was enjoying it, but I was like, oh man, they're playing my favorite, like one of my favorite songs that like from like way back before they were.
It was probably
popular,
that song,
right?
I imagine.
And then I caught myself doing it. I'm like, fuck, like I don't want to do this. So
yeah,
I'm sure they got glasses with like just a camera in the corner though, so it's not like your whole eyes.
Yeah.
What people need to do is they need to die. So they can realize, oh, my whole life was available. I could just go record and go back into a moment. Okay. So I didn't even need to record anything. It's just there already. Yeah. It's in the Akashic records. Oh, okay. Well, shit. Well,
you think we'll be able to?
But then come back and be like, okay, that's what people need to do. They need to die for a little bit and then just realize and then come back.
Because I think it would be fucking amazing.
I would love
to where you don't even have to like pull out your phone and just.
Yeah, dude, we're VR. We're virtual reality right now in the flesh.
Charlie.
Fuck, dude. We're at 53 minutes here.
Dang, time flies when you're having a good time.
Yep.
So we want to wrap this up with his deal and
a couple things we got to plug. We have A.M.F.M, our project coming out soon. We're putting the final touches on entities.
Yeah, we're dropping music out as fast as we can. So if everyone just searches this A.M.F.M or A.M.F.M.
Which he hates that, by the way. Or do you hate it, or do you just?
I'm just like I kind of hate it.
Okay, because it's all right. You hate it because of the difficulty factor. Nobody's gonna go A.M.F.M. And I want to challenge our listeners to do it
because I do it.
Yeah.
So if I do it, like, people will do it. But then again, it's my shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's our shit. So I'm like, well, I'm willing to do it. I don't know how far.
Yeah.
I did encounter this. I was at the climbing gym, and this homie was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We chopped it up, and he's like, well, yeah, let me hear it. Boom, boom. So I was like, yeah, just look it up on iTunes. And he's like, and I just put A.M.F.M. Just put in A.M.F.M. Tried it out. No. And I was like, well, put A.M.F.M. cicadas. Like, no, I can't find it here. And I was like, well, just put A.M.F. And then he's like, I'll look for it later.
Oh, so you counted that in real life.
Yeah, so.
That's kind of funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. I had the opposite effect.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, they're like, how do you find it? I was like, oh, put A.M.F. And they're like, oh, right there, A.M.F.M. Yeah, away, yeah. And cicadas, yeah.
Yeah, I just need to get my game together. They don't want to spread the word.
Yeah, the first time.
Word.
Atlanteans made for you. So we have away, a parentheses W-A-Y. So it's a parentheses W-A-Y. You did that one.
Yeah.
And then we have cicadas. That's out right now. And then entities coming soon.
Which helps in a way, though, because there's a gang of songs named Away.
Away, yeah. Not the O-A. Dang, is she here right now? Imagine.
She's in here because we talking about
I can feel the other dimensional Pool House vibes.
Yeah, A.M.F. is dropping music often. The podcast also, I mean, what you guys
plug your podcast.
What you guys got going on is fucking dope. And we also rock a podcast called The Real Underground. And RowLow also is there with us, kicking knowledge and just really going in depth with, like, just I guess conversations that aren't typically had amongst, like, friends, if you will.
Metaphysical concepts.
Word, yeah, metaphysical concepts and philosophies and astrology. AZ loves to talk about astrology. We all talk about astrology. We all love to talk about astrology. And so yeah, it's really more of like a, how can I say it? I don't know. Not to categorize. Eclectic, sort of mystic, supernatural type conversations we be having. And even that one session on Bitcoin was really tight too. Shout out to RowLow for that. So yeah, the podcast, the Real Underground podcast, that's like on Spotify and iTunes. You could just look up the Real Underground. That should be pretty easy, I think. And then Coachella Urban Valley Farms. If you guys want to get microgreens out here, you can hit up the Facebook or the Instagram with a message and just basically either ask me how you can get your microgreens or send me your email, and we'll get you signed up and in the flow of the know, so you know what's available and how you can get it. It's available at Harvest Health Foods. We're working on getting into more stores out here. I know Nature's, we just recently finished up a conversation with them. It's just the season out here is really slow too, so that's also another challenge, which I know we're wrapping things up.
Survive the summer.
Survive the summer. So we're coming up with maybe incorporating these microgreens in a salad already made, or like some sort of lunch form that we can deliver. Now that the Riverside County thing is, you guys hear that they officially made it a thing now, but we've been doing it for a while, but just making food out your kitchen and then selling it.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So they passed it
as
as
like 20 items or 50 items.
Word, yeah. So now you can make like your own business doing it, as long as you purchase a permit and have someone inspect your thing. Everything's cool. All right, cool. So that's like very similar to the process that I had to go through when I started to grow. You know what I mean? Like, I had to have the inspection. I had to have the county make sure I'm growing what I said I was growing, make sure everything was cool, clean, and even the city permits, all that kind of stuff. It's all the fine prints that essentially is just paper, bread that
Right.
people need, I guess, but it has to be done. So yeah, you can find it in those places for now. Farmers markets, it's a little quiet right now also because of the season. We're working with trying to get into the mall really soon, so they can find us inside the Palm Desert Mall at a farmers market. It's going to be an indoors farmers market. And yeah.
And then maybe next season go to the COD.
Oh,
check out COD.
Yeah, maybe the COD. Yeah, the thing is they charge a lot. So
do they?
Yeah, so again, starting out, just taking everything out of my own pocket basically.
Gotcha.
I was trying to do the minimum, but the most with the most work.
Dope.
Cool. Right on.
And that be the song.
And that'd be the song.